Hey everybody, we're going to take one of these Noodle Boosters from Dollar Tree and we're going to cut it into 4 pieces using a sharp knife, but be careful with that you don't cut yourself. We're going to be using some light mocha from Annie's Treasures and we're going to be making a Cruller donut with some sprinkles on it. So the first thing we're going to do is condition our clay a little bit. And then we're going to begin to roll it out into a large circle big enough to cover just about the entire donut front and back, because we're going to want to manipulate the clay into those little ridges that you see. And they kind of look like little truck tires, but if you think about it in a food sense, it's almost the same shape as a Cruller donut. So we're going to roll that out pretty decently so that it fits. I actually needed to roll it out just a little bit more than what I had anticipated originally, just to make sure that it curled all the way around the back side and that I could tuck it in where it needed to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in a pattern to where it's almost like a pleat, because that's the way the crullers are shaped. And it's going to fit a little bit better and go into the little crevices a little bit better by doing the pleats. It also gives you a little bit more clay because there will be a little bit of shrinkage in this, and because it's like a pool noodle type foam underneath it, I didn't want there to be any of the blue showing, so I wanted a little bit of extra clay, plus a little chunky on the bottom, just like a Cruller donut is. I started out using a ball tool, and then I decided to go ahead and snip the middle and create the hole and blend all that clay in together. It was hard to decide which side of this donut to use, the front or the back. I think the underside where I tucked all the clay actually looks a little bit more realistic, but I ended up actually using the smooth side in the end. When I was smoothing the clay, I did use a little water for this process just to smooth some of the seams in together. But using the ball tool really helped tuck in all that clay and get it to stick in the insides. I didn't use any glue underneath this clay, which in retrospect I probably would next time. Here I'm just smoothing a little bit of the seams in with a little bit of water, just to make sure that there's no air bubbles and it's all tucked in tight. Like I said, if I do another one of these, since I was able to cut the Noodle Booster into 4 pretty equal sections, so I can actually make 4 donuts out of this. I also thought about using it to make some large daisies, so I may try that with one of the other ones as well. But definitely I would recommend putting a little bit of glue on the foam part just to make sure that it seals it in. I actually think the underside does look more like a realistic Cruller donut with all the little creases in it. But like I said, in the end, I did go ahead and go with the smooth side. The product that I'm using for the topping on this is from Liquitex. It is just some of their gel medium. I didn't put any paint in it. It will dry relatively clear, but there will be some evidence of like a glaze on top. So I didn't add anything to it, but I definitely thought about it. You can also make a decent donut glaze with some clear silicone, a little Mod Podge, and just a pinch of yellow paint. So I took some on a a little spatula tool, a palette knife, and just started smoothing over the top. And then I went around the edges and in each crevice with a little bit more. I have the silicone showing on my desk, but I did not add that to that product. This is just straight Liquitex medium that I put on top. Like I said, you can make a pretty decent glaze with some of the clear silicone and a little bit of Mod Podge, probably about a 50-50 mix of those two. And then you can add just a little bit of, like a pinch of color with a little bit of yellow, like a pale yellow color will make a decent glaze for a donut. It took me a little while to get the material into each crevice and work it all the way around. So I decided to put some sprinkles on top. I had these tiny little dark pastel sprinkles that I liked the way that they looked. I did the top and just a little bit on the sides. You could definitely put a hanger on this and use it as a wreath attachment. Maybe you could put 2 or 3 of them together and make a cute wreath attachment. Or you could put little eye hooks on them and hang them on the side of a tree. Either way, let me know if you decide to make this project, and we'll see you next time.